You are welcome to Day Tutor Academy, where we feature free video tutorials to help you understand the fundamentals of mathematics and the science subjects. We have comprehensive solutions to numerous past questions from various exams, including WAEC, NECO, GCE, JAMB UTME, GED, and high GCSE. These are aimed at preparing you to ace your exam with flying colors so that you can successfully build that great career you have always longed for. All you have to do is to just subscribe to Day Tutor Academy and turn on that notification bell so as to set yourself on a path to excellence. Alright. A survey of 40 students showed that 23 students study mathematics, 5 study mathematics and physics, 8 study chemistry and mathematics, 5 study physics and chemistry, and 3 study all the 3 subjects. So interestingly, this is a case study of a class of science students, since they are offering what we popularly call FICM maths. Okay, that's physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So we are told that the number of students who study physics only, you need to notice that physics only is twice the number who study chemistry only. So with this information, we are to find the number of students who study only physics and then only one subject. Then we are to find the probability that a student selected at random studies exactly 2 subjects. So looking at this question, it is a classical example of a set theory problem, and we're going to be using Venn diagram to interpret all the illustration. But as a rule of thumb, first we need to put our information in set format, okay? The mathematical format that we can use set theory to solve. So that means that we need to start with the very first statement here, that a survey of 40 students, meaning that our universal set U is equal to 40, okay? Then we are told that 23 study mathematics. 23 students studying mathematics means the number of M, where M is for mathematics, is equal to 23. And as a rule of thumb, we are going to be using M for mathematics, P for physics, and C for chemistry. Then moving on, they said 5 study mathematics and physics. So the number of students that study both maths and physics, now is intersection, and is synonymous to intersection, or will be synonymous to union, okay? But we don't even have all here. So we have 5 study mathematics and physics. So number of M intersect P is equal to 5. Then 8 study chemistry and mathematics. Number of chemistry intersect mathematics is 8. Okay, that's this statement. Then 5 study physics and chemistry. Number of students that study physics intersect chemistry is equal to 5. 3 students study all the 3 subjects. So we have number of maths intersect physics intersect chemistry is equal to 3. But that's not all. Then we are told that the number of students who study physics only is twice the number who study chemistry only. In that case, that means that if number of those that study chemistry only is represented as X, then number of those that study physics only will be what? Will be 2x. Since they said the number of students who study physics only is twice the number who study chemistry only. So chemistry only is X, then physics only is 2x. So this information is what we can use to populate our Venn diagram and then solve the questions that we are given. So we can now say we want to go ahead to draw our Venn diagram, okay? So to draw a Venn diagram, let's use a rectangular box for the universal set, and then we can go ahead to put in the information for all these that we have. All right, so unlike I have the circle for maths, I have the circle for physics, and I have the circle for chemistry. Okay, so I can say this is my, let me just use different ink. Let me say this is maths, this is physics, and then, okay, I can use this. Let me say this is chemistry. Okay, now looking at all this information, it is best that we actually work it like this. We know that our U is 40. So I can say I want to put in my U to be 40. Some people love to put that on top. Anywhere will do. The universal set is 40. And now let me put in all the other information as appropriate. Now, this is the way I love to go about it. So many people have so many different methods, but we'll just explore one of them. You can also pitch in with the one that's comfortable for you. The number of mathematics is 23. Let's keep that information. We'll still come to it later. But now they said that M mathematics intersect P is 5. Where is the region for mathematics intersect P? It is here. Look at this. This is maths, okay, to the left, and this is physics to the right. The point where both of them intersect is what I just shaded in green. So that region is given as 5. All right. However, we already told that the number of students that offer maths, physics, and chemistry is 3, meaning that this particular region in yellow now is 3. But we already know that the whole of this region is 5. So if we take 3 out, meaning that this other one that is now remaining green will be 2. So that 2 plus 3 will constitute 5. Okay? That is actually the ideal way to go about it. So I can just say, now I know that this particular place is 3, but then this particular location is 2, so that the combination of the 2 is going to give me what? It's going to give me 5. That is the consistency of using the Venn diagram to correctly depict information. So let's go and look at another one. So in the second case, we are told that the number of students that offer chemistry and mathematics is 8. But out of that 8, we already have 3 that studied maths, physics, and chemistry. So where is the region that is intersecting the chemistry and mathematics? I can use some other color. It is this region in yellow and this other region. Okay, that is the region of those that study mathematics and chemistry. This particular 8 that we are looking at. But out of that 8, 3 study maths, physics, and chemistry. So the remaining here for the purple section will be 8 minus 3, and that will give us 5. So here we are going to have this as 5. This region is 5. Okay, now that is not all. Looking at the number of students that studied physics and chemistry, which were given as 5. Here physics, this is physics, and here this is chemistry. The number of students that studied both subjects was given as 5. But out of that 5, we have taken 3 out. So the remainder here in this white region that I'm having my cursor, that remainder will be 2, so that the 3 and 2 will add up to this 5. Okay, so if I'm also to put in a color code and just shade this region, that is going to be 2. Okay, so having done that, we are not told that the number of those that studied chemistry only, if you represent that as X, okay, so chemistry only as X, look at this region that was not shaded at the lower part. Since C is the lower circle of chemistry, we have taken out those that did combo subjects, either 2 or 3. The chemistry only is this white region below. Okay, this white region below, and we are told that it is what? It is X. So that is X. And then the number of students that study physics only is 2x. This is physics. This upper right hand corner, this white in which my cursor is moving around, that will be physics only, and we're told that that is what? That is 2x. You know, initially I told us to keep the information for the number of mathematics, which was given as 23. I said we should keep it. Now look at this. For mathematics, already we have 5, that is in mathematics. We have 3 is in mathematics. We have 2 is in mathematics, because the whole of this region, that is mathematics. So if you have taken out 5, 3, and 2 out of the mathematics, 5 plus 3, that is 8. 8 plus 2, that is 10. But we are told that the whole of mathematics is 23. So what is going to be the remainder, the remaining student that took mathematics only? I think you get the question right and you get the answer right also. That will be 23 minus 10. All right. So 23 minus 10 will be this region of mathematics only. No wonder they didn't bother giving us that information, because they guess that we could have been able to get it ourselves. So here, this will be 23 minus the addition of these 3, 5 plus 3, which is 8 plus 2, which is 10. So this is 23 minus 10, and that will give us 13. Okay, so I just want to write only 13. I just put that for you to understand. So this is 13. All right. Now, looking at this question, this is the right approach to go about trying to represent the information of set theory in a Venn diagram. And with this, quite a number of your mark you have gotten already. We now need to go to question 9A and 9B to find solution to this problem. All right. So now we are ready to solve our question. And in the first case, we are told that we are to find the number of students who studied only physics. Only physics is our consideration here. And looking at the diagram, that is this 2x. That's the value for those who study only physics. But from the information that we have gathered, since we have now represented our information in the Venn diagram, we can see that we only have single point entries. We've identified all the overlapping points. And now, if we add all of these entries together, it's going to amount to the universal set 40. So we can say 13 plus these 2, 3, 5, 2, 2x, x, and 13. They all add up to 40. So I'll just say 13 plus 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 2 again, okay, plus 2x, then plus x is equal to what? Is equal to 40. So if I'm to add all this, 13 plus 2 is 15, plus 3, that's 18, plus 2 here, that's 20, plus 5, that's 25. Okay, so I have 25 plus 2x plus x, that is 3x, is equal to 40. So that 3x will be 40 minus 25. And 40 minus 25 is 15. And x will now be 15 over 3. And that is 5. But they didn't ask us for s. What did they ask us? Students that studied only physics. So the number of students that studied only physics, from our diagram, we know it was gotten as what? 2x. So 2x, and that is what? That is going to give us 2 times 5. And 2 times 5 is 10 students. So 10 students is the number of those who study only physics. You can see how this is quite good, how we can use it to solve our question once we got our diagram correctly. But that's not all. We're also going to look for the number of students who study only one subject. Okay, so if you are to look at that, you can say we want to answer our question A2 now. Number of students who study only one subject. Just remember, we just got our x to be 5. Then we are going to say, where is the number of students that study only one subject? That will be here, only mathematics plus only physics plus only chemistry. That is the beautiful thing that we can do here. In short, let me show you something. That will be number of only maths plus number of only physics plus number of only chemistry. And those are the ones that are circled in blue here, and that will give us 13 plus 2x plus x, okay, which is 13 plus 3x. But we have gotten x to be 5, so that will be 13 plus 3 times 5, which is 13 plus 15. So those who study only one subject will be 28 students. Is this not interesting? I love this. Okay, I hope you are understanding and flowing with this the way I am doing it. All right, so let's now go ahead to look at the last question. So now in question number 9b, we are now asking for the probability that a student selected at random studies exactly 2 subjects. So let me call it probability of exactly 2 subjects. That probability is going to be number of students that studied exactly 2 subjects over the universal set. Okay, that's the total number of students, which is 40. Then we need to find those who study exactly 2 subjects. Exactly 2 subjects means that we are not talking about 1 year, we are not talking about 3. We only talk about those that studied only 2 subjects, and that will be this region, okay, in green, this region in purple, and this region in gray. And that means that that probability is going to give us 2 plus 5 plus 2 over what? Over 40. Now 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 2 is 9 over 40. So that probability that we are looking for is 9 over 40. What we just need to note is that here they're asking us exactly 2 subjects. So it's not going to have any other overlap. It's not going to be within the region of those that study only 1 subject. It's not going to be part of those that study all the 3 subjects. It's only those that are highlighted here in blue, those that studied exactly 2 subjects. So that's 2 students studying math and physics, the 5 students studying exactly math and chemistry, and the 2 students studying exactly physics and chemistry. And with that, we have answered this beautiful question in Venn diagram, and I believe it will also help you to be able to effectively tackle questions like this if you come across them in exam. All right. So that's all we are going to be having in our lecture today. We hope that this will be of benefit, of use to somebody out there. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of resources that you can use to enhance your academic excellence. And that's our desire, that you go out and be the best. And as you do all this, we know that all will work out together for good. Until next time, God bless you.